Hello and welcome back to my channel, The Talk. On this episode, I'll be bringing to you a very wonderful topic. The last one I spoke about was procrastination, and now I'm going to deal with how to deal with your flesh. In case you are new to my channel, I am Divine Ego Afalpa. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to this video. God bless you, and stay tuned for this segment on The Talk. So now I'm going to talk about how to discipline your flesh. Well, when we talk about flesh, do we only mean this flesh? Do we only mean our skin, our body? No. We are talking about the body and the mind. Discipline is a training that produces results, a positive result. It's a training of both the mental and the physical. The Bible tells us in Romans chapter 8 verse 37 that we are more than conquerors, and we believe that we are more than conquerors as believers. But there are times in our life where we become conquered by some slightest, littlest thing. And now we ask ourselves, how are we more than conquerors when we are being conquered by tax, a job, a bad habit, a spouse, or any kind of circumstances that we are being conquered by? But the Bible tells us that all these are just the strategies of the devil. Even when we are born again believers, it's actually a struggle between the flesh and the spirit, because the spirit and the flesh are not one. They actually fight against each other. So that's why we need discipline, because the devil's plan is actually for him to distract you, because he has no power over you. The devil plan, according to John 10:10, is to kill, to steal, and to destroy. He wants to destroy your plan, your future ambition, and he cannot just stop you because he has no power over that. He cannot just stop you from achieving your goal. So what he actually does is prepare a strategy for you. And in 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 8, he said the devil is like a rolling lion seeking for who he may devour. So the devil wants to devour your dream, your ambition, and whatever thing that you want to accomplish that is going to be a positive impact on your life and on your generation. If it's your ministry, if it's your academic, if it's your career, the devil knows that if you are good at what you are doing, you advance your course and it will be better for you. And he will not like that. And he doesn't have power to stop you from achieving your goals. So what he does is that he makes you defeat yourself. Yes, and that is why this topic is very essential, because you need to know what the strategy of the devil is. And I'm going to tell you some of the strategies that the devil uses. Sometimes we make a mistake of thinking that the Satan attacks come from the realm of the spirit. That's why I told you he has no power. Jesus already gave us that victory. So if you are a born again believer, it's a good news for you, because Jesus has gotten that victory for you, and he doesn't have power over the spirit realm. You have power to control everything because Jesus has given it to you. That is the good news you need to know about that. But yes, he has given it to you. The flesh is still the flesh. You have to rescue against the flesh, because the flesh will fight everything the spirit wants, because the spirit wants what is right for you, but the flesh won't let you have it. That's why you need to apply discipline. So this discipline, the devil can't attack what you have, so he deploys devices. He deploys devices over you. He deploys strategies on how to defeat you, because he knows he can't just aim at you and say, I'll stop this girl from achieving, I'll stop this guy from achieving this goal, I'll stop him from praying. No, he can't stop you. So what he does is that he uses devices to distract you. Then you, on your own mind, will stop whatever you are doing. Yes. And what happens when the devil deploys all these devices? It actually weakens us. And that's where it gets to us, because he uses our weakness and to destroy the plans that we have. But on the other side, God does the opposite. He uses our weaknesses. God uses our weaknesses to glorify himself. In 2 Corinthians chapter 12 verse 9, what does it say? It says, my grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. So God doesn't even need us to be perfect. It's not like the devil that uses our weaknesses against us. Even in our imperfection, in our weakness, he uses it for his glory. There are several mentioned people that had weaknesses that God used great and mightily for his glory. For example, Moses was a slaughterer. Like, he stammers, he doesn't speak properly, or let's use the word that he's not a public speaker. So he's more of a shy person, or he doesn't speak properly. But yet God uses Moses. He used him to liberate the Israelites from the hands of the Egyptians. Now, that to show you that God can use anybody. Zacchaeus was short, but God still used his shortness for whatever purpose God wanted him. Jonah was shy, he was scared, and he was a coward. He ran away from the instruction of God. Yet, God still used him. Abraham was old, and not at that age, he wasn't supposed to even have a child. But yet, God, even in that default, God can still bring out the best in you. And I know that God can bring out the best in you. Whatever you feel that is not making you that confidence of yourself, that is making you lose the interest of what God has ordained for you. I know that you can see through that light, that God is going to use you for his glory. He's going to use whatever you have. Don't be ashamed of the weaknesses you have. Acknowledge them, and God can definitely use that weakness to strengthen you and to use you for his divine purpose, because he's not looking for perfect people. He's looking for imperfect people like you and I that will be able to finish his work. Because at the end of the day, if you are perfect, you take the glory. But when you are imperfect, it actually takes the glory, because you know you didn't do it on your own strength, because your strength fails you. So you know definitely that thing that you did is definitely from God. So you are going to appreciate all that he does. So now I'm going to go back to what the devil's strategy is. What he actually does is to play the mind game and give us that weaknesses. When we now acknowledge the fact that we are weak and he has dwelled on that weakness, he is not going to use it for glory. He's going to use it to bring us down. And one of the major strengths he has is this device. It's plotting against our mind. Our mind is the greatest tool that the devil uses to downgrade whatever we have. The devil's most greatest strategy is deceit. He deceives you that you cannot make it. He deceives you that you cannot do it. He doesn't just plunge a bad habit at you. He sows a seed, a very, very little seed that you don't even notice. For example, you might just say, I want to walk, and the next thing, you are sleeping and you just said, okay, I slept. Before you know it, you end up becoming a habit. The devil can't just plunge and just say you'll be poor. No, he brings strategies on what will make you poor. He knows that a little sleep, a little slumber, social poverty hits you like a whip. So he knows that you are going to sleep and you are going to not going to do whatever it is that you are doing. So then he can accomplish his goal for you. But I pray for every one of you that watched this far, that God should actually use whatever you have as a witness to glorify himself, that the flesh will not bring you down, and whatever the devices the enemy is plotting against your life will not stand. And that is my earnest prayer for you all. Thank you. I hope you loved what you watched. I'll continue this topic some other time. God bless you.